Switch mics here. Can y'all hear me now? Mic check 1 2. Can you all hear me now? Let's see how that goes. What about now? Outstanding. That's what I like to hear right there. That's what's going on with the technology piece. Nikki Carter, you said you can't hear me. Don't start playing because everybody else said they can. That's what I'm talking about right there. Glad to see you. All right. First of all, I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to Sinclair Talk at Outlook.com. I'm going to continue to address as many as possible each night that I'm on the air to reach you, the valued listener. It's interactive. That means when you guys come on, that means that we're going to talk, we're going to vibe. It is what it is. Let me see who out here tonight. Matter of fact, y'all know with the new system, we can show everybody. Marcus Key was the first one on. What's going on, Big Cuz? Nikki Carter popped in next. Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchard came in from the Rocket City. April Brown came in next. And there go my mama. Hey, mama, what's going on? Annie Moore, we are glad to see you. Let me see who else is trickling in as we speak. Taya Matthews, what's going on with my sister today? Oh, I see Detective Pamela Black is in the house. See, that's what I like about this new system. When you come in, you can get your credit visually. Everybody don't do that. Some people try to trick you. Y'all got to keep an eye on some folks out there. Look, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. Let me turn this mic down. It might be a little loud. But we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about tonight. And as a matter of fact, how y'all like the little layout? Is this layout better than the previous layout? Y'all like this more interactive piece? I do personally, but it's all about you all, the valued listeners, I guess. So obviously, the goal is that we become more interactive. That way we can do more things. And I've got a James Key. What's going on, man? Glad to see you. There he is right there. Outstanding. Thanks, Ty. Glad that you like it. Oh, there she is right there. The doctor herself, Dr. Beverly Key. Glad to see you. What's up, cuz? Everything is lovely. All right, so people, look, check this out. As I've been promising you all that I've been investing in the show, and we got a lot of things that we're going to be doing. Some of you guys have asked me about the little study sessions and things that we're going to be doing on different days. I'll turn you guys on to that when the time is right, which will be in a couple of weeks. But right now, I'm just making sure that I can get this up so that everything, I want this to be as interactive, almost so y'all could come on in the house with me, but you can't. So now I'm going to say this. Cassandra Key, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you. She done popped up in the house. I'm going to tell y'all. Now, we got some topics that we're going to talk about that have been sent to me because y'all wanted to chit chat about them. But I got to tell you, I done got sidetracked. Because shortly before I was scheduled to pop on air with you guys, I was having a conversation with Xavier, and he asked me if I had heard about something. And I was like, what are you talking about? He asked me if I heard about this one particular thing. And so I took flight and decided I was going to go out there and check it out. And so we're going to begin tonight with the first topic. All right. And let me say, and what I'm going to try to do is all the topics that we have, I'm going to try to run them down at the bottom of the screen. So if you come in the middle of something, you will know exactly what we're talking about. It's just one of the other little features we're going to try to do. So the first topic tonight is about an Asian woman whom there is a video, and that's the link right there that I personally saw the video at, that Washington Post link. And I don't know if any of you have seen it or not, but there's an Asian woman. She appears to be going home, going into her particular walkway, trying to put her keys in the door. And this dude just comes out of nowhere. Jay Dizzle, what's going on? Yeah, that's your boy Jay Dizzle right there. He done dialed in. And there's Vicky Jill Lee. What's going on, Vicky Lee? Glad to see you. So apparently James have seen it too. If you have not seen it, again, that's the link right there that you can delve in. And I want you guys to at some point, not right now while y'all are dangling around with me on the show or whatever, but I want y'all to go out there and I want y'all to check it out. All right. And here's why. Now, whenever there is some foolery going on, I often like to say that generally, as a minority male, the first thing that comes to my mind, obviously, is when I hear of something horrific, and I'm not saying this is the way that I should think, but it is the way that I think. The first thing that comes to my mind is, I hope it ain't one of us. And so when Xavier had sent this or told me about this, he did not provide me the information as to the race of the individual whom was committing the crime. So naturally, just off what I believe about my people, thank you, Jay Dizzle. Thank you. When I looked at the video, again, the woman is 67 years old. She's an Asian woman, but I wouldn't have cared what she was. Okay. 67-year-old Asian woman. It appears that she got some little bags or something. She may have been coming back from grocery shopping or something to that effect. And as she's trying to put her key in the door, this minority male, who appears to be, he's either a light-skinned dude, may even be of Latin descent, he comes through the little glass door and immediately begins to punch this lady. And as you see at the bottom of the screen, he punched this woman 125 times. Loretta Battle, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you in the house tonight. Punched her 125 times. And oh, so Xavier said, nah, buddy is black. See there, that right there. And normally, let's be clear. Normally, I would, Marcus said, who's counting punches? All right, listen to me. I'm not going to get sidetracked with you all tonight. Normally, if this type of heinous crime, we would be sitting back saying that whomever did it, there's a special place in hell. Hell done got a nice little niche cut out for somebody like this. And some of you will say to me, well, Sinclair, man, you're supposed to be rolling with Christ. Let me tell you something. I don't wear the bracelets. Y'all know how y'all had them little bracelets on that says, what's going on, Corey Parks? Glad to see you, my brother. Y'all know how y'all be walking around with those bracelets on that says, what would Jesus do? Y'all like those kinds of bracelets. Okay. And the thing about the reason why you all like those bracelets is because when you think about what Christ might do, what Jesus might do, it gives you some sense of warmth because there's always, Ty, talking about some what would Jesus do? Yeah, right. Stephanie Tillman, what's going on? So you would believe, Marcus said, people forget Jesus was flipping tables in church. All right, listen. Hey, Mark has been tiptoeing around in the good book or thereabouts. But let me tell you something. The reason why we enjoy this so much is because it gives us some sense of solitude to think about all of the kind things that Jesus was known to do. Now, at some point, I'm going to turn y'all on to the infancy gospels of Thomas that talks about Jesus when he was a little boy. And you'll find that Jesus had an attitude problem too, okay? Before he became wise and knowledgeable of how to deal with his power. But let's not get sidetracked. We're not having church tonight. But I brought that up because I'm not going to wear a wristband that says, what would Jesus do? And I'm not going to act like what if we had a wristband on that says, what would God do? Okay. See, y'all don't want to wear them kind of bracelets because when you're in the Old Testament, God didn't play. God tell you don't do something. Next thing you know, poof, you up out of this camp. He had wrath, he rage, if you will. And so when I watched this video, and again, I got to give Xavier credit for it because he is the one that pointed it out to me. Hadn't heard about it. I went out and I watched the video briefly. And as I'm watching this dude, I'm getting madder and madder. Okay. What's going on, Dre Williams? My dear brother. How's everything? Hey, look here. It don't matter if you're late, long as you're here. But again, this black man in New York punching this Asian woman 125 times. He is caught on video for absolutely no reason. And I am sick to death of, we got all the stuff to say when there is some vile act that white America is doing. And I got to represent from time to time my 42%, you know, because when you know you got to support. I feel like Tiger Woods sometimes. I done got that DNA test and it tells me that I gotta put a little respect on white folks' names some nights. But if this had been a young white man or an older white man, if like when we heard about, okay, when we heard about the young man not long ago who was driving the FedEx truck and the two white guys were standing out and shooting at him, we was enraged. Okay. We were just enraged. When we heard about what those white men did down in Georgia to that young man, we was enraged. Every time we see a white police officer gun down someone of American Negro descent or one of our Latino brothers and sisters, we get enraged. So I'm forced to tell you all tonight, I don't know how you could not be enraged if you watched that video that I watched. I don't know how you wouldn't feel the same. Let me tell you something. They talking about they're going to charge him as a hate crime. That's the same thing that they did with the Arbery, the three dudes from Arbery that killed him and tracked him down. They should give this brother, this black dude, they should give him the same thing. I'm telling you like this, I don't have no sympathy for the ignorance that's out here. And we as American minorities, American Negroes, Latino Americans, we have to do a better job if we want to have some respect as it relates to, if we want white America to have some, Chris Parks, what's going on, brother? If we want white America to accept that the things we find to be heinous or irreprehensible that happen to our people, we got to be just as vocal when we see Negroes, American Negroes, out here doing ignorant stuff. First of all, I want to put this in perspective. I am myself and Jay Dizzle. We tend to watch boxing almost every Saturday. Some of y'all like Xavier, you're more into the MMA. So I peruse through that sometime. But if you watch boxing, and I want to put this, I want you to keep the number 125 in your mind. Okay. For someone, a professional boxer, okay, and Johnny, you can bag this up if you will. A professional boxer around 145 pounds in the height of his game, let's say 154. Let's say we were talking about Earl Spence Jr., if you will. He might, on a good round, throw 60 punches. JC, what's going on, girl? Glad that you're joining us tonight. If a professional boxer in a 3-minute round throws on average 60 punches, what does it say that this trifling Negro snuck up on this Asian woman and swung on her 125 times? That's a different type of evil. And I'm saying this because the amount of rage, and I empathize with the Asian community because what we've seen over the last few months is that they have been targeted. Chris Park said, how many times did he land? According to the article, and it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, they said he punched her in the head 125 times. That implies to me that he connected. Okay? 125 times. Now, Chris, I'm about to ask you a question. Chris said, punish him based on the numbers of punches. All right, so you answer my question because I was about to ask you, the connection piece might not even matter. If you sneak up, and again, I want you all in your own time to look this up. You can find it out there at that link that I have at the bottom of the screen. But for you to sneak up behind a woman, now let me say this. This lady was 67 years old. Not that it would have been any better had she been younger. But see, you're a special kind of soft Negro. And I'm trying to temper my words. Okay? But you're a special kind of ignorant. You're a special kind of weak. Okay? And y'all know how I feel about dudes putting their hands on women. Because it be dudes that's jumping on women that ain't never trying to see no dude in the streets. Okay? But I just want to know, when you stalk an elderly lady, and I'm saying this to you because I'm going to say this as a matter of fact. So if I ever wind up incarcerated, you going to know what I know while I know what I know. You ain't going to have to guess. My mama getting ready to have a birthday, okay? And on her birthday, she'll be 80 years old, okay? And every time my mama tell me she going somewhere, I get this little, I be calling her, mama, where you going? What you doing? because you get nervous the older that they get, not because you just regular stuff, maybe they're in the wrong lane driving too slow. I rode past my mama about a week ago. She was going somewhere. I had to call on the phone. She had the 10 and 2 and her girls was with her in the car. They got a Golden Girl crew. And I had to call. I was like, Mom, I just passed you. What is you doing out here? Gas prices is too high for you to be out here showcasing up and down this road. But that's for another day. But let me say this to you. And I'm saying this with all level of sincerity. Because you all have heard me say on this show, so it's a matter of public record, because I often tell you all, watch what you say and do on social media, because you can't run from it once you put it out there. So when you hear me repeat something, it's because I mean it and don't care who know about it. Understand something. There isn't a jail, a prison, a cubbyhole, a woods, or any place else you could go. If I saw an image of some Negro putting his hands on my mama like that. Okay. And what y'all don't realize is this. Some of y'all tend to say there's nothing that can make you do something to somebody. Understand what I'm saying to you. I'm willing to go to jail for killing a Negro that put his hands on my mama. I'm willing to have to explain it to Jesus. Jesus know I rock with him, but Jesus know my heart. So he know if some form of fashion of a nigga put his hands on my mama like that, he got to go. And there are some consequences that you have to be willing to accept in your life. And I'm saying this to you all because it is problematic that we got folks out here acting the absolute fool, and we in the minority community cannot just be sitting back only getting upset, pissed off, enraged, whatever you want to call it, when we see white America doing something. We need to have that same level of energy right now. That's real talk. But see, some of y'all, you ain't got the same kind of of feeling in your stomach. Okay. When it ain't nothing racial about it. Okay. I'm starting to notice more and more that we in the Negro community, we don't have nothing to say about black folks doing heinous crimes. Okay? We don't have nothing to say about that. We only seem to become enraged when it's a white and black thing. Cassandra said, to see the legal beagle be on it. She said he has several offenses and 14 arrests and multiple convictions on his records, most for previous assaults. He should not have been on the streets. This is not his first crime that he could. Hey, glad you let us know about it. Wrong is wrong, regardless of the person's color. Absolutely. Anymore said, I feel what you're saying about your mom because I feel the same way about mine. Mess whatever you want to. See, people, this is what I'm talking about. And I say this, and some of you all will second guess. See, because here's what happens in life, especially in cases like mine. When you rock with God and you on team Christ, people think you supposed to just, I ain't got time to be listening to y'all talk about turn the other cheek. Nope. Ain't got that many cheeks. I ain't got but two. And I done turned them twice. Okay. I tell y'all, I'm a work in progress. Jesus uses me as a messenger. All that other stuff y'all talking about, back up off me with that. Okay? Because of this, Jesus wasn't he wasn't soft. He wasn't no punk about his. He was known to, because you haven't read it, then you think that everything you heard was about the nice part of him. Nobody is expected to allow, to like, or to deal with any of this foolishness. Andre said, indeed, she should be punished By what charge of hate crime does? Hey, let me tell you something, my brother Andre. They are charging him with hate crimes. I will say that. But I want the if you watch the video, you're gonna know why I have taken almost 30 minutes of my time to talk about it. It is that heinous. And we should not be so desensitized, because I promise you, when you watch that, if you don't feel the way I feel right now, then I'm going to ask you, after you watch it, tell me, would you be enraged if it was a white man standing over a elderly black woman punching her? If you don't feel something right now, okay, I'm just saying. So I want y'all to check that out. I want y'all to be out on the same way y'all go out on Facebook and Twitter and the Gram and all these other places, and y'all post up these memes, if you will, and all the other stuff that y'all do. If you got time to post up pictures of yourself half naked with your behind popped up in the air, you should take the time to go look at this video and post up those types of comments. Because I'm going to tell you what get folks' attention. When folks see that the public is not going to let something go. Okay? That's real talk. Anyway, let's move on, because unfortunately, this is not the only negative thing. Now, like I told y'all, I only got that maybe 15 minutes before the show was going to go on. So I perused through that one. But that wasn't the only one that was coming up. Let's talk about this, people. All right. So there is an article out there. All right. And the article talks about the DC authorities identified the suspect arrested in connection with the shooting of 5 homeless men in both DC and in New York City. All right. Says the man arrested in connection with 5 separate shootings of homeless men in New York City and Washington, D.C. was identified by D.C. authorities as Gerald Brevard. Okay. Think about this now. Another one of our people. Now, again, we done had some of these nights where my Anglo-Saxon, my Caucasian brothers and sisters, they done had some bad nights where most of the topics was about some ignorance that somebody in their direct clans, no pun intended, was doing. Tonight is not a good night for Negro Americans. This dude, and again, I'm telling y'all, so you all don't have to guess the way I think about things. I'm a regular person. I'm just like you. I just got a different task. I got a different job. Okay. But I'm just like you. So obviously, when someone sent me this about a dude, a random person going through and shooting homeless people, you know, the first thing I thought of. Now, this was before I knew the 2 areas. At the time when I first heard about it, I did not know it was in D.C. and New York. Dwayne probably would have told me that it was probably somebody who was black. But as sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, this dude, Gerald Brevard, is black. Authorities say they have not enough information about his motive, but additional charges for the offenses committed in New York are anticipated. The case is an example of what happens when good police work and science support it. A gun has not been recovered yet. 2 men died in the attacks, which unfolded between March the 3rd and March 12th. DC authorities identified one of the victims as 54-year-old Morgan Holmes. Other victims' identities have not been publicly released. ballistic evidence linked all 5 shootings to the same gun, said the special agent in charge. Let me tell y'all something. Once again, as I watched this, there were videos of this individual essentially stalking these homeless people. Now, first of all, homeless people already got enough, already got enough negativity in their life. Now, you perusing through the city, looking for somebody to shoot. And you're doing it in such a manner that it led me to ask myself the following question. If you want to do so much shooting and killing, I just saw the president of Ukraine begging for some assistance. If you just wanted to go out here and test your marksmanship, why you didn't hop on a plane and go over there and help them fight for Ukraine? No, you'd rather sit around and stalk somebody unknowing to target somebody who was already down on their luck. You'd rather target somebody that doesn't have the ability to defend themselves. Okay? Hey, Andre, that's what I said too, my brother. My first impression when I heard about it, gotta be one of my Caucasian comrades. But as soon as I saw it, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we ain't doing good in 2022. Trust and believe. But again, it is the weakest of individuals who will stalk. It's like, what could possibly go through your mind? And I tend to believe this. I have no proof of this. So let me let you know this is just a theory of mine. It's a theory of mine that if you just got caught with these, there has to be others that you have not gotten caught doing. Okay? You hone your skills somewhere. It's James said he has mental issues. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Nope. That's disrespecting crazy people. Okay? It would be easy for us because every time somebody does something that just seems like it's past common sense, we want to attach that to being mental issues. Nope, that ain't mental issues. Okay? I ain't giving them mental issues. This dude wasn't crazy. He didn't have mental issues. He was evil as hell. And that's the thing right there. We operate in a space where we feel like we got to find a technical label for it. The news stated that he did. James said the news stated that he did from his dad. Nope. I ain't gonna give his dad the opportunity to say something was wrong with him. Yeah, something could have been wrong with him, but he wasn't mentally disturbed. That's what we want to do. Kids start acting crazy. 5 years old, y'all giving them Ritalin. 8 years old, you giving them Xanax. And you labeling them. Something is mentally wrong with them. If his dad believes that he had something that wrong with him, why didn't he get him committed? And please don't tell me that he couldn't, because understand something. I have worked in the system by which you can go and have someone involuntary committed. Chris said if something was wrong with him, he shouldn't have had a gun. Absolutely. Ty said mental issues or not, he had the wherewithal to hunt down and kill people like game animals. Yes. Animal said the devil walking around with a gun. That's what I'm talking about. James said, and he shouldn't have been on the streets according to authorities. I'm not rocking with all of that, because here's the problem with all that. Nigga said preying on the vulnerable, no excuses. See, we can look at somebody after the fact and say they shouldn't have been on the streets. We can look at somebody, the authorities don't get a pass. They knew about them, allegedly, if they did know about them. But here's the thing. You know how many, as a counselor, do you know how many families I have counseled with that know that their child wasn't about nothing? Yvonne, how you doing, Yvonne? Glad to see you. Glad y'all must have just got out of Bible study. Essie Shepherd, there go my armor bearer right there. What's going on? But understand something. We got all these levels of knowledge about something, but I have counseled families for the better part of 15 years. And I can tell you beyond any doubt that I done seen mothers that it don't matter what they sons or daughters do, how heinous it is, they'll still put the house up to keep them from being locked up. I done seen people who will see their kids committing crimes and still have them sleeping down the hall with them. Why? Because they justify it in their minds. Okay? Committed for a week. If he shows no signs of harming himself or anyone else, back on the streets, he'll go. Hey, that may be true, my brother. No doubt at all that that's true. But again, the problem is, if you know, let me tell you something. We got folks that can put, what's you can track your kids by their cell phone. You can get the GPS trackers. You can get it's about 10 different types of things you can get to track somebody. If you got a child, if you got a loved one, if you got a husband or a wife that you think is crazy enough that you now talking about, oh, they have some mental issues because they didn't got caught killing 5 people. If you thought they had that type of problem before, you should have had something tracking them. But no. Because this is what happens in the world that we live in. Y'all love them little criminals that you gave birth to. According to authorities, he was committed a few times. Okay. True, that's a mother's love, another whole topic. Absolutely. We will make up a excuse for our sons and daughters that we know are evil as all outdoors. Okay? That dude was a psychiatric patient, but was found competent. Right. Absolutely. Matter of fact, let's show that again. Cassandra said that dude was a psychiatric patient, but was found competent. Let me tell y'all in part what that means. Okay? That's my girl. She said, lock him up down. Let me tell y'all in part what that really means. That means all of y'all talking about he had mental issues. What they found when they started talking to this dude was he's just evil. He's just a mean-spirited person. Okay? But again, unfortunately, some of you right now got a killer in your house. And I am not talking about somebody like me who is capable of doing something in the event that somebody hurt somebody that you care about. That's not what I'm talking about. Some of you have seen your sons and daughters killing little animals and dissecting animals in their room. Some of you scared to go in your kids' room because you done helped them buy AR-15s and they done told you they'll kill you and all kind of stuff. Some of y'all got them in your house right now. Okay? But you know what you won't do? You ain't gonna turn them in. And you don't want me to tell you why? Because pride come before the fall. You're not going to turn them in because you're worried about what it'll look like in the media, on social media, on the gram, if you will, if folks find out that somebody you gave birth to was just that evil. You ain't going to turn your son or daughter in, even though you know in your core that they evil and that they probably out here raping, murdering, doing stealing, robbing, doing whatever. You ain't gonna turn them in. I'm telling y'all. Four of these homeless people didn't even have to die. Because here's what we know about. Most people that go out and do crimes like this, they love to brag about it. Watch, I promise you all this. In the next 30 days, you're going to hear stories of somebody saying, well, yeah, you know, I knew he was acting a little crazy, or he said he did such and such, but I didn't believe him. What did Maya Angelou say? If somebody tell you who they are, believe them the first time. I mean, understand something. It's going to be people that says, I always knew something was going on with him. Really? I'm trying to tell y'all. And this the thing right here, that this is the reason why, and I've said to you all many a times, I am an avid gun collector. James said his dad said he was off. Okay, if his dad thought he was off enough to be killing people, then why his daddy didn't take him on out this world itself? I'm just asking. Okay. See, I ain't giving his dad no pass to come up now, because his dad said his dad doesn't want to see him get the death penalty. So his dad gonna say, oh, he's got mental problems. If right now you got somebody living in your house that you believe is out murdering people, or is out raping folks, or out attacking people, you supposed to be the first one to handle that. His dad helped authorities catch him after number 5. Come on now. Well, you sure you're making up a lot of excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about what his dad did after number 5. His dad could have had, listen. His dad could have took care of this problem a long time ago. Really could have. If he believed then, okay, if he believed long time ago that his son had the level of mental issues that we appeared to be talking about tonight, which again, I don't believe is mental issues. I believe it's evil. I believe he's just mean. I believe that he just enjoyed what he was doing, and that's why he kept doing it. I don't believe he was just hearing voices, some voices. I don't believe he heard nothing. His dad said it shouldn't have been out. Well, somebody tell me, because I one of you geniuses that's out here on the net, can somebody tell me, was he living with his dad? Who was the dude living with? I bet you he was living with somebody. Just like that sorry sucker that beat up that Asian woman. I bet you he lived with somebody. Matter of fact, I was watching a video that somebody sent me. I did not want to, it wasn't part of tonight's thing, because I intentionally didn't put it up there. I wanted to save it for next week when I would have more time. But somebody sent me a video of a black man who is in a relationship with a Caucasian girl, and he was terrorizing this white girl. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it tonight, but there are people right now living under duress. Okay. And we know about it, but we got this code. We got this code in the Negro community. We hate every time that the police do something and we say, oh, well, there was some, when they start talking about it's only a few bad apples on the police force. And we say, well, if what happened to the other police officers that knew what was going on, they should have said something. Why should the police not have a blue code, if you will? If in the Negro community, we got a black code that says, I can see and know that somebody's doing something, but I ain't snitching. It's 5 folks dead right now, and I promise you, somebody knew at least about 1 or 2 of the ones prior to the last one. Somebody knew. If he was living with his father and he tried to have him committed and he was found competent, what more could have been done? What more could have been done? Let me tell you something. If I know that my son out here killing folks, you asking me what could I do? The same thing I would do if I saw a stranger attacking a 67-year-old woman. Hey, they didn't let white folks off for killing Trayvon Martin with some Skittles on some stand your ground of what he said he believed. You can defend the situation when you believe there is a direct threat to bodily severe bodily harm and or death. Now, if I know I got the type of person that y'all saying is quote unquote them rabbit ears that is crazy as y'all say. If I believe that nothing is being done and that I think to my core that this dude is out here killing people, I'm going to pray about it. Then I'm going to go get one of them guns from out that special place. And I'm going to take care of the situation. Because that's what we do. We sit around and say, well, what more could have been done? If one of them people that got killed was your father, was your son, was your brother, what would you have said should have been done? Because we don't like to talk like that as a people. Because we say, you know what? That's teetering on what are you doing talking about your spirituality. Let me tell you something. First of all, half you Negroes don't spend enough time talking to God to even be bringing his name up. Stop using him as an scapegoat. Okay? But if you got a child that you believe is out here committing heinous acts and you say you done tried to get them locked up, you ain't got to ask me what more could be done. Do the same thing that my grandma used to say. Do the same thing that Geraldine used to say. I brought you in this world. I do what, people? Somebody type the words down there. I know I ain't the only one came from that kind of environment. Y'all done heard it before. And that's the answer. Do you think you get a pass because you say, well, I tried to take them to the police and the police didn't want to do anything? Look at all them take you out. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at there. Look at there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all done heard it before. When all else fails, you don't get to give yourself a pass because you sit around tough talking. Yeah, look at that. Annie done heard it before. Vicky Lee done heard it before. Absolutely. And some of y'all feel some kind of way because y'all saying, I can't believe that he would say that and he talking about he works for Jesus. I told you, you better go back and read about y'all. See, y'all only got 50% of the version of Jesus. Jesus had a little tood before too. But you have a responsibility. Are you telling me that I just felt so helpless because nothing could be done, but I'm willing to allow, look at Nikki Carter talking about take you out. Absolutely. We sit and we don't want to be responsible for anything. Well, I did all I could. I called on them. You know how many times we as a people have seen a crime being committed and either looked the other way, didn't call, didn't say anything. Robin Williams, glad to see. Look, Robin said, I brought you in this world and now I'll take you out. She even put an exclamation point on hers. Because what I don't understand is you said if somebody did something to my mama, I go and kill them and then go down to the police department and turn myself in. You ain't got to even look for me. Because there's a reason why I did it. Because you knew when you put your hands on my mama, there was going to be a problem anyway. You should have known that. You should have did your due diligence. That's why ignorant folks shouldn't even be out here attacking folks no way. Let me say this. You better know who you attacking. Because some of y'all ain't going to just make the news. And you can't just be running your mouth with the lip service. Because if you knew and you pondered over it all these times and you knew what he was capable of doing, the family of those 5, just like the family of that Asian woman, they got a right now. What do you think they're thinking? They don't want to hear that mess talking about, oh, well, you knew he was crazy or you tried to get him committed, but there was nothing you could do. Yeah, right. I'm just telling you, I'm not about that. Really, I ain't. I'm not about it because I think that most of you all are not, you don't have the types of, let me rewind that. Many of us find it hard to believe, or it's a challenge for us as we sit back and think about the types of things that go on around us. And you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to do? What must happen around you before it becomes actionable? That's a real question. Because it shouldn't take 5 innocent dead people. And to some degree, again, and I've said for the record, we'll find out shortly, I don't believe that he just killed 5 homeless people. I believe there may be some other victims out there. I truly do. And because I don't believe he was tactful enough to get away with the first 5. I believe this dude had been doing other stuff. Just like I don't believe that's the first Asian, the second Asian, the third Asian that they got and walked up on. And you're so comfortable. Mind you, most of these people that these 2 that we talking about right now, they got caught walking in front of cameras. The dude that jumped on that Asian woman who was 67 years old, he walked into a small corridor with cameras right up top. So come on now. Anyway, let me see what else we could talk. We ain't got much time. Let me see. Okay, let's talk about this. I know this is going to bring some of you all to your conversation pieces. Let's talk about, what do you all think about the Jussie Smollett sentence? Was it too harsh, too soft, or just about right? Anybody got an opinion about old Jussie Smollett? For those of you all who are living under a rock, Jussie Smollett was the dude who used to be on Empire, who said that 2 gay dudes tried to jump him. One of them he said he was involved with, and that they put a noose around his neck. Something about he had a Subway sandwich and a noose around his neck, and I don't know all the details, but he was, and when some evidence came out, Ty, don't act like you ain't never heard of Jussie Smollett's situation. The guy that said that the people, he claimed that they had put this rope around their neck and it was a hate crime or whatever. First of all, I knew Jussie was lying anyway when the police said when they got there, this dude was in his apartment and still had the noose around his neck. Come on now, really? But anyway, so the jury said he was lying. And they gave him, I think, like 3 years probation, 150 days in jail, a fine, and it was one other thing they gave him. And I've heard people say, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair with Jesse. I'm torn about this, okay? And if any of y'all know who Taraji P. Henson is, she made a point of saying Jesse Smollett got 150 days and whatever the fine was, but for lying on himself in a situation where nobody was harmed. All right. But she also made a point to say, but the woman who lied on Emmett Till, and they know she lied on Emmett Till, and it caused him to be murdered, she didn't get 1 hour in jail. And so I believe the point that she was making, because honestly, I believe something happened, not sure what, other people lie and don't get locked up as of today. He was released during the appeal process. Okay, I didn't even know that. Thanks. That's some good information, Cassandra. But let me say this, people. And this is not me defending his ignorant actions. I do believe that the fine was warranted. I don't even have an issue about him getting 3 years probation. The restitution, no problem. But think about it. We have seen individuals who take somebody's life and say, oh, I did it because I feared for something, get no time. We've seen young white girls who will lie and say they were kidnapped, who will lie and say that they were raped, who will lie and say all kind of stuff, and they never get any time. And I would even go so far as to say, I believe personally there was double jeopardy involved. Because if you think about it, the reason the prosecutors had made the decision to not charge Jesse, but because it was high profile and the police did not like how it played out in the media, they went back. Okay. And let me say this. The issue for me is the Supreme Court just said that Bill Cosby will not be going back to jail because the prosecutors made an agreement by which he then told his side of the story, and that were it not for the agreement that they made, he more than likely would never have opened up about what he believed to be the facts of his case. That's what the Supreme Court just said about that. So I wonder, how is it that Jesse, once you are told by the prosecutor that that's it, we got the facts of the case, no new evidence came to play. Now, I know some might say, well, he was never brought before a court and he did not have to go to confession. But I do believe that to some degree, if the prosecutors have all the information and nothing new comes forward and they make the decision that we're not going to prosecute, that he should not be getting any jail time. Matter of fact, truth be told, I don't think he should have got any jail time anyway. Because if lying was an offense to get jail time, Donald Trump should have been locked up. Okay? You got, I think it's 11, 12, 13 women who accused Donald Trump of sexual assault, and he ain't get no time. But we got Jesse Smollett sitting in boys camp fearing for his safety because he told a lie on himself. You said crazy things. What if he was telling the truth? Well, let me say this. Do I believe, because he said he had some type of intimate relationship with one of the dudes, do I believe that something could have gone on? I've learned my lesson about saying no, that it is impossible, because anything is possible. But let me say this, though, to those of you who want to believe that that something could have happened. This Negro still had the noose around his neck and his Subway sandwich when the police came to get him. Them two things just haunt me. I can't get past them. I don't know nobody I don't know no blacks that would have kept it. That it would have might have been on the floor. It might have been on the ground. He might have kept it for evidence, but you ain't gonna still have it on your neck when the police get there in your apartment. Look, people, I got to go. I can't stay up here with y'all all night, although I would love to. Look, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'm glad y'all liking the new show. If y'all got any ideas or suggestions, let me know. There's some additional things coming down the pipe. We're going to get some of our legal team in play. Chris say he didn't want to tamper with evidence. Yeah, right. we gonna let you have that one. Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. You guys are probably going to get a chance to see some of the people who maybe the legal beagle, maybe some of the other folks. We'll get a chance to have them on, and you'll be able to see them in the corners. We're working on a lot of good stuff. So people, look, I love y'all. Pray about some things in your life before you get out here acting crazy. Do something kind for somebody between now and next Wednesday. And if at all possible, if you know you got somebody crazy around you, don't let them take somebody else's life. Keep crying out. Go to the news media. There's a lot of stuff you can do, people. It's about that time, baby. Gotta go. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
If it's on,
run it with your friends. Come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on.